what does it mean? There is no real distinction between a unit being destroyed that's fully cut off versus one that's destroyed on the front line. Destroyed on the front line, really, as we know, doesn't mean everybody dies. It means it's no longer combat capable as a, in this particular version, a division. So part of what you're doing here is, and you can basically, and it's cheaper to get them back. It's kind of like pulling them out of the line and sending them in reinforcements, and it will take days, months, whatever, to get them back through the production queue and get them onto the focus. So the mere fact that a unit is destroyed in this game right now, because it's the numbers of units, not manpower, that determines what you can build, as well as your MPP. So you have that. So I really like the way they've done, because they've done 2 divisional DLCs. The first time when I played this, and this is a revisit for me, I was very much on the offense, speed, and I lost. And it was, I blame the ability for the too rapid shifting of forces via rail for either side. But because you're pushing into conquered territory, it's not as quick to reinforce for the advance. After playing the Ludendorff, the second DLC that they made, learning how to do this better is why I'm revisiting this. And the Ludendorff, I really love the Ludendorff DLC. And that's obviously the Ludendorff offensive in 1918. And so that is really good. It's challenging. But I sort of learned the passive aggressive style. Advance forward. Make sure you have an action point to dig in, or don't advance that far forward. And so it's advance, dig in, advance, dig in, advance, dig in. Get to a point to where you can overwhelm the enemy, crush them, move forward. So it's a much slower pace. It is not what I'm sort of used to coming out of a World War II game of panzers and velocity and speed and all of that. It's a more methodical advancing. There's still very much, the strategy of pushing around and dealing with supply lines. Supply lines are incredibly important in this game, and maintaining that. I was thinking the same. You're easily bogged down soon if not careful. Like the idea he can implement some winning strategy. I do wonder what. Now I don't know that I'm going to be able to win this in the time frame that it's allowed. That is, but I got my ass handed to me entirely, not just not winning it before. I did win the Ludendorff offensive, but it had a little more time doing it. The general, we're starting to figure out how to prosecute the war. Yeah, so I'm trying to be as successful as I can with the resources, the units that I have available to me. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take Paris, but I'm hoping to do better than at least I did before, and maybe better than the Allies did by pushing around through to here. We will see what we can do with this. So, right, okay, let's continue here. And so if you're looking for something, yeah, okay. Got one more unit. He is, let's see, he is dug in, so he's not gonna really change much if he changes. Or, yeah, let's just be smart about it. You want to make attacks that kill the enemy unit, not that just... The other thing I quite honestly don't like about Strategic Command and all the versions is that if you have enough supply links, and whether World War I or World War II, is you can fully reinforce a unit. Now, the morale won't necessarily be the same as if you hadn't lost, and readiness won't necessarily be the same compared if you hadn't lost some elements in combat. But it's a little too easy to go from a 2 strength unit back to a 10 strength unit. I would make it, I don't know, half the difference or something. So it takes a few turns to fully get back. So you can't, I can't just hit this cavalry unit, damage it. If I knocked out 5 points off of it, next turn it'll be back to 10, as opposed to maybe jumping back to 7 or 8 and then hitting it again, and then it coming back, knocking 5 points off of 7 or 8, and then coming back to 5. You don't have the ability to grind down. So I'll give feedback that about elements of a game that I'm not terribly fond of. I mean, I love the game, but it's elements that I'm not fond of within this. So is the ability to fully get, if you're in supply. Now, if you're not in supply, we have some units around here that I just don't have enough supply to get fully back up to strength. That's great, but it's just a little too fast when you are in supply. Just there's not the time that I think is realistically should be there. Okay, yeah. Now from an 8 to a 10, got no problem. Big supplies, but maybe should that have been an 8 to a 9, and then the next turn 9 to a 10 kind of thing? Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. Now here I'm wondering, do I come up and hug these guys? Yeah, probably. Oh no, we don't have. Do we have the move? No, we can't. We can't. Yeah, we can't really this turn. No, we can't come up and hug. Okay. Get up right up next to him, and attack. Now here, okay, we have. You can strike. Maybe I should have used my airstrike here instead. You can strike. Okay, 3, 2. Yeah, because I'll be able to bring in at least a total of 4 divisions to attack this division. We'll start with this one. We were hoping for a little better. 2 for 2, 4, 2. Okay, it's not turning out to be the result. Oh, should have used the airstrike here instead of down there. It was too easy. Okay, we didn't fully take it out, but it is down to 2, so yeah, we'll probably fully reinforce it. That's the kind of thing. See here, I would go maybe only able up to 4, or at least, well, the difference 8, so 4 more up to 6, even if it's fully in supply up to 6. Now you can swap it out and have it reinforce back here while you have a fresh unit up there. That'd be fine, because I can do that myself. You can do it either side either way, but I would do that so that it's no tanks this scenario. Yes, they did automobiles. Their taxis and early forms of buses to get some troops up. Yeah. Now there are tanks very much in the Ludendorff offensive, as well as the grand strategy version of the game. The overall one. Okay. Now we do have points to purchase because on the last turn, as you remember, we spent a huge amount of points on reinforcing. We are going to spend some here. We might as well get, unless we're going to attack. Yeah, we're going to wait for the artillery. It's going to have 3 shells next turn, and we'll be able to come in and bombard. And they're already fully. Yeah, it's just not worth. I'd rather try to come up with more forces and hit them harder. Okay, now. Yeah, let's course, we can't upgrade because there's no upgrades yet. We still have that, but it's not enough to buy that, so we can buy 2 detachments. The detachments are good in that they're cheaper. Still, we have the max numbers, but cheaper, and they're quicker to produce, and they can hold open some of the supply lines and whatnot on a a front, and or put the final sort of quick boot in if something is almost dead. Okay, let's let the AI have its turn. Okay. Well, I like how they reinforced right there instead of attacking me. Maybe that division will survive. Yeah, they did push up against him. Wow, they really pushed up against him. So I think he'll... Oh, well, he moved back. Trying to flank around him, but he's going to get out of support and supply. Looks like he's going to survive. Well, maybe not. Well, no. Close. I think though they cost them their cavalry division. Okay, 3rd Guard Division destroyed. Okay, Germany. Now this we have. So it almost, not entirely, but it almost doesn't really matter where we put this because we're probably going to want to send them up on trains next turn to somewhere. You definitely want to put him on a... Well, we'll put him here. A reconnaissance bomber. Very little bombing effect, mostly just gives a square quote-unquote reconnaissance modifier. And I think we're going to move him up as well. So we'll put him on the railways for subsequent follow-up turns. The Germans had plans before the war on how to take Paris and quickly. I remember reading somewhere that one of the inspirations was the Confederates attempt to take Washington, D.C. by encirclement during the American Civil War. Not sure if this is supported by evidence or not. Well, P.S., you have to remember the Prussian army, which is basically the foundation of the German Imperial Army, had the experience of the Franco-Prussian War of rapidly moving on to Paris for that war, and then having a long-term siege of Paris after getting there. So they've had the experience of relatively recent similar sort of an assault on France. And they were they very much realized that France learned a lot of lessons from that action, and then are attempting to deal with their preparations for it. Did not regard U.S. Civil War positively. They looked at it as a squabble between former rebels. I doubt they saw it. Well, I would say a lot of the European observers really took notice of railway use in that war, in the American Civil War, and its effects on it. I don't know how they regarded the qualities of the fighting troops or the qualities of the officers. Now, as a historian, know that they're excellent on both sides, but And I don't know if they went to the same mistakes years later, but they definitely also take notice of the Russo-Japanese War and the machine gun role that played in there. With that, right, let's come down to where some of the here is easy. Okay, we've moved too far forward for our supply, so I'm going to pull back because we don't have enough supply to be able to reinforce, and they'll keep grinding me down. So we're going to come back here and entrench. And they may want to push after me. That's fine. We'll, hammer them a bit. Okay. Well, like here, they moved in and they entrenched, but this is sort of like a, hey, come in and kill me spot. Let's attack here, I guess. Unfortunately, he moved back. Okay, well. Now that he is weakened, he has, this is the unit here that we're hovering over. You can look and see down here. For some reason it's showing up as a colonial thing or something in the bottom thing. You see his readiness and morale is at readiness 62, morale is 53. Where here, it's that, 84 and 97. So that the earlier attack did weaken him, but it's not, in my opinion, quite the same. I think what we're going to try to do I want to take that. They are all entrenched. I want to see. Yes, they are entrenched. Oh, so close. So close. So close. I think I can do this. Yes, I think I can do this. Oh, man! Oh, that is just so effing close. If I'd been able to take him, I would have been able to occupy that. Oh, man. He is not entrenched, so I don't want to leave him here. He'll come down to here. Now do I try this? That was so close. Well, that worked. Now, I'm not going to occupy this because I'm not going to be able to entrench. And what is, okay, right, Petersburg with trenches, U.S. Civil War trenches. Yes, they started to do the trench. Don't forget the Balkans Wars. Yes, that was an influence as well there. Where they should have given them the warning was how bloody World War I. Yeah, the Russo-Japanese War is definitely Grey Knight. And it really helped with Russia and their early recognizing the importance of the machine gun. Very much. The Prussians were pretty when it came to strategy and tactics. One French guy's left is like non. Yep. Oh, Lord Cucumber. Yep. He's holding out. So that was so close. Now here, see, it's okay. We can probably take him with just him, which is good. Well, they did kill my unit here, but we cost them a cavalry division. Okay, if he moves in, he can't get back out, which is not good. But here, that looks like we can do this. Okay, he can't retreat out, but to save the situation, he can come down here and entrench, or I'll shift the trenches as it were to that. Okay, so that they took out one of my divisions, yes, here, and I took out their cavalry and this other division here, so it didn't go all their way. Here, can we reinforce? Making rude gestures. Yes, absolutely. P.S. Hello, Yog Dog. How you doing? Only played. Well, actually, I would say Yog Dog. If you're at all interested in World War One, I like World at War and War in Europe, Strategic Command. I think the game. This is and if you just new here, this is the DLC for the divisional scale DLC for the invasion of France in 1914. But I think the engine and everything is better at World War One than it is World War Two. So if you like, now you just may not be interested in playing World War One, but if you're at all interested in it, I think it does it better than it does for World War Two. Okay. Now, a Mons offensive, we can see here. With heavy artillery blasting their way in. We can see down here, you can see the readiness and morale, 65 and 62. Going down to, 62 and 58, 56. All right, okay. They're going to strike from that direction. Then we're going to swap out these two divisions. These guys are going to strike from there, which we didn't do so well, no. Those British are doing better than I'd like to see. Especially after expending all of my artillery on them. Right, well. Well. Really have they're going to come down here Yes, and entrench. That way, maybe. And they're going to entrench this way. And you really just need to move up and entrench. Ah. You have to teach them, though. I know AIs don't learn, but it's not the best. What would be our level? Okay, fully reinforced. That is good. Okay, they can come up. They have action points. Oh, do I? Yeah, I guess I do. That's. I'm supposed to come up in a trench, and I know that, but I'm hoping. Damn. Oh, well, he retreated back. Does that let me get anybody up here? No. Okay. And yes, I am aware of the need for momentum. Okay, we're going to trust, hope. They won't be able to bring too much forward to push on those guys that aren't entrenched right here. This next turn, because we're going to need to do this. Sorry, spiraling, I don't quite get the French. So if you're at all interested in World War I and playing it, and you like strategic command, which obviously you do, I do highly recommend this game. Yeah, I'll probably move it forward. I'm not sure. Well, let's head it this direction. I'm disappointed in not taking that this turn. Oh, please don't think that I'm some great player of this, or I think myself some great player of this game. Tolerable, yes. Okay, well, I want to take out that French. Get back on the supply lines. Okay, that will hurt you. Oh, that actually got rid of them. Okay, but it did hurt you a bit. So we're going to move down here. And... let's see if we do this. And here we can still reinforce you to yes max. Okay, that hopefully is the best choice. here. Okay, they're not entrenched. He needs to entrench. He needs to come up and entrench. Now I think just like that. Just 8. Swap these two out. That way these guys can entrench there, and these guys should be able to, yes, reinforce. Maybe we're just too throw shade on the streamer. Well, maybe. Yeah. Oh, well, no, I got it. This has to be a pocket, not a breakthrough. It's got to be a pocket. I can't. If I go for the lure of Paris, it's going to be illusionary, and it's going to be a problem. So I've got to keep this idea that it's a pocket that I'm trying to create in here. Push down, cut off the rails, get this out, straighten up my lines. There's definitely with this scenario a timeline. Yeah, I think you got 2 more months of turns. Okay. Let's reinforce, moved what we could or thought I should. Oh, well. This is just a detachment. That's why it's doing so poorly on the. Well, let's swap these out. I think that'll use up its movement points. Well, now we'll have a better shot at it next time. Except for we don't have the artillery, so that's not a better shot, maybe. But yeah, there is definitely an Ardennes vibe to this for sure. Well, it's more complicated than that. That's sort of like taking Paris is sort of like the super victory. If I were to take Verdun or a few other places, I forget exactly what they are. Basically, do better than Germany in World War One. I think would be the basic term. In the time frame allowed, you win. So you don't have to take Paris to win. That's sort of like a crushing victory. I forget the details. I'm just trying to do a good job and vaguely follow the Schlieffen Plan by trying to move along and get to the coast and move along the coast here and push in while feeling out weak spots to try to get the AI to react to it. Okay, looks like I can purchase a detachment. We'll just purchase 1 detachment. This turn, I think it's all we have left that we can purchase, yes. So we're out of, the only thing we can do is 5 more divisions once we get the MPP for it. There is a max number. Again, we have a lot of stuff. You see, this is the rest of August, September through, I think it's to the end of October is what we have here. So last unit coming in September. For this scenario. Well, okay, I think, well, just, okay, we better. We've gone a little long over time, but that's fine. There was nobody scheduled to come after me, so, yeah, I'm not hugging this closely at the moment, as you can see. All right. Okay, that's basically all my MPP. I got at least most of the units. These you've already struck. Okay, let's let the... Need more artillery? I would like more artillery, but I've got all the artillery I can get. Which is 2 heavy units. The second one is... Oh, we can move these guys. Oh, it came last turn. Right. Oh, no, they... Looking this turn. I can move them. Can I? Well, I can't... Oh, I don't have the... Oh, okay, now I messed up. I should... Yeah. Messed up again. I should have used some of the MPP instead of buying that extra detachment, or the additional detachment, not extra, but additional. I should have moved these guys forward. Okay, well, let's move him to here. He's not worth moving at the moment, so we're just going to let him sit there. We'll use the rails next turn. Yes, I made a couple of mistakes, yes. They're coming, they didn't know we were there, so they got ambushed. We were entrenched. We're doing reconnaissance bombing there and there. He swung outside of my trench line. I should only be able to attack that unless they come to this X here to with a second or third unit. Okay. Well, we need to... Well, some more reinforcements up here would be nice. We will put these guys just, I guess, here on the rail. Here on the rails. Okay, well, survive some tough fights. I think we're maybe ready to take, maybe not. I don't know if that would be 5-6 units. I don't know. That looks like an easy kill. Move up some stuff. But that's going to have to wait for next time. I will be continuing this series. But you can show up tomorrow at 8:30 my time out here in Pacific, basically just after tea time with Marco. I will be premiering War Plan Pacific. And of course, Alvaro will be on tea time talking about War Plan Pacific before I'm live streaming it. So come back tomorrow morning, again, my time here in California, maybe evening. It's the tea time, which is you can look at the schedule on Slytherin. So you'll see the premiere of War Plan Pacific. I'll be back tomorrow for all of you guys, and I will hopefully see you then. It's looking good. I've just played it a bit. Not trying. You're just trying to. We're going to experience a lot of it together, though. I've been playing the open turn, so you can see that. And talk to Alvaro already. It's going to be good, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say, so I won't steal any particular thunder or anything. But he's done a really good job doing that. So yes, tomorrow right after tea time, I will be back. And so yeah, it's 8 a.m. again. Look at the schedule here on Slytherin. It's starting in the morning. See you guys then.